Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Gabi joining me. Hey, Gabi.
Hey.
Hey, guys, we have an exciting video of how Gabi's client actually changed her circumstances. She was told that she wasn't going to have something covered, and she made some intentions and worked with Gabi, and now she is getting the damages covered. So we have a really exciting success story that we're going to share with you. Before I do, guys, guess what? Gabi is an NLP practitioner, neuro-linguistic programming, as well as EFT practitioner and a hypnotherapist. So, definitely check out the link in the description below if you need any help, because she is having a 50% off sale right now. And as well, we do have a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. Is going to help you to be able to create your mental diet. So link is in the description for that as well. And if you would like to ask me, Amanda, a question, you can sign up for the Patreon, where I do answer your question once a month on the YouTube live. So definitely check that out. So yeah, let's dive into this. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm super excited. So I just received the success story today. And so my client went on to say, I had a coaching call with Gabi on Sunday, November 12th, and had my first success story today, November 13th. In the 3D, I had some car trouble over the last few weeks. In October, someone sideswiped my car, and after a damage assessment, it was considered total. I was feeling defeated because I was initially told the damages would be covered by the insurance. And then they contacted me again and told me the complete opposite. They weren't going to cover anything. On my call with Gabi, I told her the situation as well as my feelings about the whole thing. And she helped me set my intentions to take my power back and have things turn out in my favor. After only about a day of doing affirmations and focusing on my mental diet, I was contacted by my insurance company that I could either get a check for almost $5,000 if I decided to surrender my car, or they would cover the repairs. I'm most likely going to get a new car now and use that money as a down payment. I'm so proud of her. She did such a great job. She really and truly was beside herself and upset about the whole situation when she called in for our coaching session. And let me tell you, her biggest thing was that she wanted it to be stress-free. She just wanted the decision for either the repairs to be taken care of or them to pay her for her car. And she was just beside herself because all she kept seeing in the 3D was that wasn't happening. So I'm really proud of her. She did such a great job. She did the work.
Well, this is it, right? Like, this is it. It's so funny. I just did a video on this. It's like, when you see something in your reality that you don't like, revise it, whether you revise it on the spot or revise it later, so it's funny how things will show up how we think them. So at first it's like, yeah, they're going to cover the damage. Then all of a sudden it's like, you have that moment of like, doubt, and you're like, oh, what is it they don't? And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we're not gonna, and then it's like, no, you know what? They're gonna, and then sure enough, somebody else will be like, oh, the last person made a mistake, it can go any way you choose it to go, and I think that's the most thing. And I think, one thing, I don't know if you mentioned, but we talked about this earlier, that I think is so important to mention is, sometimes people feel like a failure when they don't manifest things immediately. That's the thing, right? Like, never feel like that, because you basically give up on your manifestation right at that moment, right? And it's like, sure, yeah, we all want everything to manifest immediately, but if you give up and you feel like a failure because it doesn't, you've basically lost faith. You need faith. You need hope. You need to have faith in this. You need to trust yourself. Okay. If you say it's going to happen, even if it doesn't happen immediately, you still have to have faith it's going to happen. And if you want things to happen immediately, you're going to have to start saying, I intend everything I intend happens immediately. Right?
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Yeah. And you're right. I didn't mention it earlier, but that was something that really did come up in our coaching session. Not only was she feeling like she didn't have the power to create the desired reality that she wanted and to change her circumstances, but she was really not even clear on what she wanted the outcome to be. So I think that's also important to bring up too. She just knew that she wanted it to be stress-free. She wanted it to be an effortless and easy process for her. She wanted there to either have the repairs be covered or for her to be able to get a new car, which isn't that great? She didn't really decide one way or the other, but both outcomes were available to her when she really focused on herself and did the work. But I think also too, one of the things she kept saying was like, I don't understand why I can't make this happen. Why can't I make this happen? And I went back to her and said, hey, we have to remember that we are the operant power. We're limitless. We select our experiences and our reality. I like to say we're a reality generator. We generate our reality based off of our thoughts. But you have to, like you said, Amanda, you got to believe in yourself. Like Neville says, you have to buy the pearl. You have to go all in. You cannot be a slave to two masters. You're either, okay, this works, or okay, it doesn't work. But you can't have one foot in and one foot out. You really got to trust yourself and go all in.
Yeah. And, and not make things not showing up immediately mean you're a failure. Every time you look in your 3D reality and what you want isn't there and you notice it, that's your moment to reaffirm what you do want. That's the universe telling you, that's yourself reminding you, hey, put a little bit more energy towards this, because you're on your own side, right? And sometimes it just takes a few more intentions, and sometimes things do come immediately, right? It's all completely up to you. That's the beauty of it. You create your reality and you create the rules that are within it. The only rule that you can't change is that your thoughts create. That one's always there. That is based in science. You have no choice of that one, right?
Yep. Yeah. And also, like you said, don't make it mean or take it personally. Don't make it mean that you can't do it. Right. And I know you're always talking about, that we can't take things personally. We really can't. When you decide that, okay, you know what, this is just feedback. I obviously need to do a little bit more work. I need to buckle down a little bit more on my mental diet. Look what happens. I mean, not even 24 hours later for her. She did such a great job doing the work.
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to, is changing circumstances, being clear on what you want. It's a great and all. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want that. And we sometimes so focus on what we don't want and react to it and get upset at it that we don't actually take the time to go, okay, this is what I actually want instead. And it's so important to get clear on what you want. It's so important. So when something shows up that you don't want, the circumstance, you just change it. You can change someone's religion. You can change someone's preference for their partner. You can change so much of somebody, their personality, right? And I think a big part of changing people is not labeling them. So if you don't want someone to be narcissistic, don't say that their behavior is narcissistic. If you don't want someone to disrespect you, don't make their behavior mean that they're disrespecting you. I mean, it starts right there with the meaning that you give things in your reality, right?
That's so true. That's so true. And, again, like you say, just, ask yourself consistently, what am I making this mean for me? When you see a feedback circumstance, take that as feedback. Sorry, not when you see feedback. When you see a circumstance, take that as feedback. And then ask yourself, what does it mean? What am I making it mean? And then you've got to drop the meaning. You really do. You have to drop the meaning and say, nope, this is what is going to happen. This is what I think and believe is true. Period. End of story.
Exactly. You get your meaning, and then now what do you want to see instead?
Exactly.
It's like a couch in your living room. You don't like where it is. And then instead of actually just moving it, you're yelling at it, saying you don't like it there. But what we need to do is we need to stop doing that and just gently move it to where we need it to be. And every time it isn't where we want it to be, just reminding, the universe, hey, you need to move over there, coach. You're going to be moving over there because I'm the creator here. My thoughts create. You are going to move. And then one day you walk into your living room and that couch moved. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it's 24 hours. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. How much resistance and how much reacting you're going to do over it, I'm sorry, I'm going to be honest, it'll stall things because you've got to clean that up. You're spending time looking at what you don't want and putting emotional energy towards it, right? So, that will stall it because, and it'll stall it for as long as you're going to react and dig your heels over it with. The minute you shift out of that, the minute everything will shift in your reality, right? Again, you make the choices. There's nobody out there giving you signs. There's nobody out there changing things for you. There's nobody out there, delivering your manifestations. It's all you, 100% you. Yeah.
Yep, totally in agreement with you. And that was actually something that I did bring up to my client. I did mention to her, you're allowed to feel your emotions. You're allowed to be upset because you're having a human experience. But when you're done, then you need to put your awareness on what you prefer and what you want instead. So, if you are going to take a few moments, give yourself a day to cry if that's what you need to get it out of your system. But then you need to say to yourself, all right, I am limitless. I am the operant power. And this is what I am deciding is happening instead. This is what I'm selecting for my reality instead. And focus on that, and whatever you put your awareness on, that's what pushes out into your 3D.
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. Amazing video. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Gabi. I mean, that's amazing. And congratulations to your client. Like, absolutely amazing. You know, that's just manifesting, you know, the sky's the limit, guys. Like, you know, don't limit yourself. The sky's the limit, you know. If you're going to manifest $1,000, why not manifest 10,000, you know? Shoot for the moon, you know, because at least if you land in the stars, you know, you still, you know, reach something. So again, thank you so much for being here. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.